Say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone!
It's disgusting. You're a disgust. She's got a shit. This chick has a shit ton of people commenting on how hideous this guy's behavior is. It is outside social norms. It's deviant. It is criminal deviant. It is stalking. Stalking is a felony. You have my maintenance guy take a picture of me. So what? I go, yeah, I did say he's stalking me. You know, I don't take pictures of you. I don't give a fuck about you. So why are you bothering me having the maintenance guy where I'm living, and you should know or care where the fuck that is, take a picture of me and then Snapchat it out? You guys use Snapchat. Our cops told me that. You're under investigation. So Josh, who took that picture, please note for the record, that's the problem for you. Okay? You did ask. You asked for it. This, Mr. Perry,
That's okay, I don't care.
is how irritating it is when someone has to say the same thing over and over and over and over. Everybody else just knows. You don't have to say it at all. Okay? Get some fucking dignity already. And write it down, Alzheimer's.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't.
Nobody asked him what he thought. Did they? He wasn't asked. Nor are they asking you, Mr. Perry. Charles Perry, no one gives a fuck what you think. We are sick of hearing it. What are you trying to prove? That you're a sick, the exact sick, you're the sicko that I say you are? The sick, twisted little fuck that I say you are? What have you gotten out of this? In 13 years, not one date, you're not loved or wanted, no one cares what you think. We're sick of hearing it. I don't ask you what you think. What did I tell you? Shut up and get away from me. We're tired of hearing what you think. We're tired of hearing what you feel. We're tired of hearing what you want. You need a lie. I want a lie. I need a smear campaign. I need this. I want that. I want me. Shut up. He's talking about her clothes. No one asked him. He wasn't asked. What was he told to do? Leave me the fuck alone. And he fails to respond as if he understood her. Everybody else didn't act like him. Can you imagine in our society if everybody acted like that guy? It'd be a free-for-all mayhem. But the thing is we want a civilized society where everybody's safe and free and not bothered. He's bothering her and you're bothering me. I don't care what you think. I didn't ask you. What did I ask you to do? Act like you understood me. Shut up and get away from me. When you contact me, it really pisses me off. I don't like it. So shut up and get away from me. We're all sick of hearing it. Shut up and get away from me. We're sick of hearing it. Shut up and get away from me. We're all tired of hearing it. No one cares. You weren't asked. No one asked you what you think. We're tired of hearing it. You're told on because we're sick of hearing it. When you're in jail, we don't have to anymore. That's why you're told on. Act like you understand me, Mr. Perry. Because our shrink thinks you're mentally retarded and you have no fucking idea what people are saying and you don't understand it. Either she's right or she's wrong. You prove it one way or the other. You prove it one way or the other.
Are employing more and more techniques to perfect.
These are the stalker training videos for cops. It is on the Stalking Resource Center. Victimsofcrime.org provides training for judges, prosecutors, and law enforcement officers. LAPD has a threat management unit. They specialize in stalking. You know why? Because a lot of times stalking victims end up fucking dead. John Lennon was killed by his stalker. Drew Carey's ex-girlfriend was killed by her stalker. Rebecca Schaefer was killed by her stalker. He got her address from the DMV. He hired a PI. He walked up to her house, shot her dead. Now we have address confidentiality programs of which I participate, and you guys breached it, Mr. Powell. You didn't have the right to do that to me, and you did it anyway. And now, Mr. Perry, you found my location and had the maintenance guy take a fucking picture of me. That's a problem for you, Neil. So, connecting the dots, TPD explains. Connecting the dots. Ah, shit.
Resubscribe to Les Mills Plus today.
Fucking ads. These cops know what to do with a stalking complaint. It isn't giving it to the offender, so he can obstruct justice and destroy the evidence of the crime being reported. And when you have something going at your car, specifically, they say, it's likely stalkers, because they do that to cars, as it turns out. So that's what you're supposed to do, TPD, not give the report to the offender. This is my letter to the U.S. Attorney after those two cops came into Sensations and said, that crazy senator from Texas that won't fuck off and leave you the fuck alone told us to just find a way to arrest you, and we said no. That is not why we signed up to be cops. But that doesn't mean he won't find some corrupt little bitch that'll do it. So I turned around at that moment and wrote a letter to the U.S. Attorney. He's using law enforcement to hurt me. He's going to perpetrate a fraud upon a court. And they got it, Mr. Perry. Or did you get it and sign that? Did you sign off for a federal office? Yep, we're going to look into that. I got this in jail, butt-in Bertha. You're not the one wanted. You're the rejected one. You're just butting in. Connie Curry. You and Connie are the same. You guys ought to go. You ought to go with her. You're the same. This depicts your selfishness. You're the word. You're me. You're a selfish little bun-in. Nobody wants around. That's why you're told on. And not one date in 13 years. Not one real date. No real love life. You're a little girl with your little dolly watching TV pretending. And that is the best you will ever be. You're a turnoff to women. You can't figure out how to get women to like you. It's not peeping. Peeping is a crime, dumbass. This, you cause sadness and fear all the time. We're all sick of feeling that. We don't have any problem, sir, getting information. You do. You have problems. You can't get information. We have zero problem getting it. Everybody's always on pins and needles. We planned something today. Is she going to figure it out and take the bait? Are we going to be able to provoke and entice and entrap? I said, fuck off. Shut up and get away from me. Stalking is a felony. Peeping is a felony. Hacking is a felony. You're in a lot of trouble. So, I assert all my constitutional rights, but I already said equal protection to the application of all the laws that protect me from what you're doing. First Amendment right to talk about what you're doing. Right? Apply the but-for standard. It's a legal standard we use for causation. And, reasonable, prudent individual. Reasonable, prudent individuals don't let you do what you're doing. You killed one guy, you'll kill another. You kill a cop, everybody's under threat. All cops are under threat. If you'll kill a cop, you'll kill anybody. Everybody's under threat. Everybody wants that threat gone. We don't have any problems getting information. So what kind of power can get that to me in jail? When I'm illegally detained after complying with the law in the state where I live, and you have to file a police report, you don't have a choice and you knew that, then I get that in jail. What else was in that book? It's not just some random name. I didn't get it the year before, the year after. I got it in jail. It's Fabian's name. I'm talking to Dave the night he first comes in October. He goes, why don't you like Charles? He's an asshole. He's cruel. He's strange. He's creepy. What's there to like? He's a fucking turnoff. And then there's that whole Fabian thing. He's butting in. Nobody asked him what he thought. He's butting in. He's just a butt-in. Little boring, bizarre, drama queen butt-in. I don't like him. Nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal to reject some fucktard you don't like. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's not illegal one bit. You know what's illegal? Stalking. Forcing yourself on a woman like rape. You're a rapist. You're a sex offender. You're rejected. You can't get a date. 13 years. You can't get even one date. You'll never get a date with me. But you're told on all the time. Look at your results, dumbass. Are you getting what you want, doing what you're doing? Who's Calvin? Who's Calvin to you? How do I know that name? See, you got a lot of problems. Who's Mary Beth? Who's Monique? Who's Monique, Mr. Perry? Who is she? I know who she is. You need to tell everybody else who she is. Yep, I've got stuff nobody has. And the fear and the sadness everybody's tired of feeling. Hope and hey, Fabian, though, intersect, don't they? Yep. And I got that in jail. It is all over the walls in my... wherever I live. Wherever I live, it's there. All over the place. That's what means something to me. That made me happy. That made my heart sing. You don't. You make everybody cringe. You make everybody sick at their stomach. We're all tired of feeling that. Creepy Charles. Point out for me the marks on this guy that looks like he was in a fight and hit a guy so hard, back and forth, his head came off his body. Chief Miller died of blunt force trauma to the head, internal decapitation. His head came off his body, internally. He was decapitated. He hit him that hard. But he has not a mark on him, and he was found unconscious. How do you do that when you're sleeping? So the guy who got, people that made those comments, Mr. Perry, now watch. When she reads that, when she goes over that case, she'll find every mistake they made. That is my reputation, sir. Not some dumb, she's just a stupid stripper. See, I had this whole life before I ever met you. I'm Chief Hall's granddaughter. You know who Chief Hall is? He was the chief of police in Roswell, New Mexico. There's a whole room dedicated to him. The building is named in his honor. He was a very good cop, Mr. Perry. He raised me. My daddy was a cop. My great-granddaddy was a cop. My great-great-granddaddy was a cop. 4 generations of police. You don't know who you're messing with, do you? My granddad helped us get those alien museums set up in Roswell. He was a city councilman. He was an elected official. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. And you know what? We were expected to behave. We're the chief's grandkids. When you're the daughter or grandson or granddaughter or son or daughter, when you're a kid of a cop, especially a chief and an elected official, everybody puts expectations on you that you're going to behave. You know how I know? I was raised like that, and you have no fucking idea what that's like. Not a clue. You're pathetic. You're just pathetic. But I'll tell you what I was taught. Law enforcement's goal and job and task, and why they have a roof over their heads and a car in their driveway that taxpayers pay for, is to be able to tell victims, you're safe now. You're safe. We caught the bad guy that was hurting you, and he can't hurt you ever again. I asked you to shut up, Mr. Perry. Get out of my computer and shut the fuck up. Nobody asked you what you think. He'll type in my computer, you're safe. No, you're full of shit. Nobody believes a word you say. And if I'm safe, then you're out of my computer and I don't hear from you ever again. Right? Get out of my computer, shut up and go away. Didn't ask you what you think. We're all tired of hearing it. We're all sick of hearing it. You don't get a date, you get told on. Look at your results. Who's Calvin to you? Who's Calvin to you? Who's Monique to you? Who's the Muffin Man to you? See? Look at your results. You're not going to get a date. You're a turnoff. So, this hand did not decapitate someone, did it? If he did, his hands would look like Chief Miller's face. They would be very bruised. They would be cut. They would look like he hit somebody. When you're found unconscious, then the guy's going to come to you. The first responders are going to come to you and first try to assess the situation and find out what made you be knocked out. And he's in respiratory distress too. Was he hit? Gosh, there's not a bump on his head anywhere. So they determined he wasn't knocked out in a fight, but he's unconscious and he's in respiratory distress. Well, how did he get that like that? He was drugged. They gave him Narcan and he came to. They didn't give him something else like warfarin or Benadryl or Nexium. They gave him Narcan and he came to. If they had given him the wrong thing, he wouldn't have come to, would he? And he wasn't tested until he got to the hospital. We needed his blood when he was found unconscious and in respiratory distress to find out what made him, what did his blood composition look like that made him be in that condition. He suffered the degradation of his evidence, as did I. Because you, by physical force, prevented and delayed me from being tested by TPD. And that is a violation of Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513. You're federal, bitch. You cross state lines. You're federal. You're not all there, are you? You can tell. Things just don't click for you. That's the McNamara email that goes with the recording that you're looking to buy so you can destroy. You're big on destroying evidence. You're big on perjury. You're big on concealment. October 29th, I tell my ex-husband he's trying to arrange a false arrest. There's a recording that goes with that because this gets into a whole lot more detail than those two guys that I talked to in August. Whole lot more detail. And there's a whole lot more in that recording that's not in this email, Mr. Perry. You're a fucking idiot. And this is my police report. Dated the 21st of January 2016. And you had me arrested on the 29th. And Tulsa police didn't call me back until the 15th of February, asking for evidence. They have to properly collect it. They have to properly preserve it. And then they have to investigate before they can determine that the report is false or true. You had no evidence of any of that because you obstructed the investigation. You impeded investigation in another state. You did not have the legal right to do so. This is Dr. Russell's letter because you wanted to make me look crazy. So you had me see a shrink. Guess what she said? I find her to be honest and articulate and scared to death of a stalker. He made a threat and carried it out. So maybe that would make her scared after I'm getting these texts from David. Yeah, we gave you arsenic and phenobarbital. Let your life fade away. I can't promise. Let your life fade away. What kind of weirdo says that? That's what Lucky and Mike said. Right? You know how many times I've told a woman, let your life fade away? I can't promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. Never, because it's weirdo. So, Tulsa police never got to take my blood, nor did Matt Powell properly collect it and preserve it for his case, the false charges you had filed. And you've tried to do it again and again and again ever since. There's not a day that goes by I don't get threatened with death, false arrest, economic or property loss. Every fucking day. You're a peeping Tom. You're a sexual deviant. You're sexually exploiting women and children. You owe me $1,000 a day for using my body for your entertainment. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And that does not include what you've made selling me on the internet. You blew up the lives of my children. You owe them separately. So, when you're arrested, we'll deal with that then. You could have dealt with it before. You chose not to. We'll deal with it then. This says you have to file a police report if you want to get a stalking protective order. You knew that because this one was denied. I didn't have the report with me. No, number 2, Mr. Powell. So you committed fraud and perjury in a court of law, didn't you? And you've done it a bunch, 7 times since at least. Had they just let her in the courtroom when it was Mike's thing, we might say she was wrong. If the jury found him guilty, we might be better able to believe that there was not a wrongful conviction here and that they didn't do that murder. But that's not what happened. They did everything people do who are guilty. It's so easy, it's not even fair. And because you got into my wallet, we got this one. We got to get her back to Texas so we can do more to her. So get her kicked out of her house. And then on the 9th, kick her out of her house. Oh shit, there's a COVID moratorium and her job was affected by that. We had 100 people coming in. We lose 50 to COVID. You take the rest and send your 5 guys in with their canned food. Thanks for that. You're like Hitler. I gave them the Jews a place to live and food to eat. They got a biscuit once a week. They got a place to sleep. What are they complaining for? I took their steak and gave them canned food. Crumbs, breadcrumbs, peanuts. That's what you did. So what he said is, let's get her kicked out on smoking. On the 15th, they did try. And so after COVID moratorium lifted, you did it again. You did it. You actually did it. You were recorded talking to my landlord. We got the appeal kicked. Kick her out. We'll get her a bus pass. Make sure she can't go to New Mexico or Vegas. You've talked about that over and over and over and over, and our judge who grants investigatory orders is asking, am I in a nursing home in the Alzheimer's unit, or am I in a courtroom? Why are these people talking about the same thing over and over and over? They've been caught. Did she not tell them? Cynthia not let them know they've been caught? No, Your Honor, she did. Okay. See, I'm doing it at his instructions. Letting you know you were caught. Why do you think that is? Yeah, you'll know when they pull the plug. Then you'll know. Here's Matt's recording in June 2018 and every day since. Do we have her whereabouts? Do we know Ms. Ortiz's address yet? And then he mailed. Rebecca Schaefer was murdered doing just what you're doing. 5 car accidents. 5 of them in 3 years. This was the one Mike took. Powder all over the room. I don't know who did this. No one saw it. I didn't see it. Laura didn't see it. But here's what. The thing, I have a stalker. Maybe it's him, maybe it's not. That's what the police determination after an investigation would do. And that all happened after this recording. In August 23rd, 2019, Mr. Perry was recorded stating, it's not legal, but I'll have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. Followed by 5 car accidents. Did it take all 4 events on 9/11, Mr. Perry, for you to know that was terrorism? Because it didn't the rest of us. It only took 2. Are you slow? Listen to the words I'm saying. What I would like for you to do is shut up and get away from me. Act like you understand me. I don't care what you think. You weren't asked. I don't care. We are all sick and tired of hearing what you think, what you need, what you want. We're sick and tired of hearing it, Mr. Perry. You're told we got this because everybody then was sick and tired of hearing from you talk. I want, I need, I think, I want. Shut up and get away from me. Shut up. When we got this because everybody was sick and tired of you. Back then. You were getting on everybody's last nerve then. How much worse is it now? You are a cancer we all want gone. You are an imposition and a burden everybody's sick of having to deal with. Go away. Go the fuck away. Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me. When you don't, we get more of these. And the ones I just showed you. It's like you like that. You like getting told on all the time? What is your stated goal? Ours is to stop your crime and to tell your victims you're safe now. We got him. We got the bad guy. He can't hurt you anymore. You're the President Snow in this. You're the President Snow in this. What's the preferred weapon of a snake? Poison. What'd you guys give me? Arsenic. What'd you give Mike? Opioids. Oh, yep, you fit it to a T. You didn't see anybody cheering for President Snow, did you? Nope, you didn't. And look, this was one night they were trying to take my car. Didn't work out for them. So we got this recording because you were bothering me. You got in my wallet. You posed a threat. Everyone's sick of dealing with that. So you guys get told on and we don't have any leaks. You do. We can get information and you can't. Look at your results. We do. We look at our results. We evaluate what could have been better or what could have gone smoother or whatever. And we adjust. And you guys just do the same fail every fucking day. Piss everybody off. Charles, shut up. Get out of my computer. Shut up and get away from me. I didn't ask you what you think, did I? No one cares. We're sick of hearing it. Shut up. You dumb son of a bitch. Shut the fuck up. You never shut up. You're like Neil. You see him, he's like, yeah. And everybody's just like, oh my God, please shut up. Stop talking. Go away. Stop bothering everybody. You're the same. You're worse. This would happen to me, kind of like tonight when you had Josh, the maintenance guy, take a picture of me and Snapchat it out. Okay, well, you did the same thing in Manford. That's why they said, how did they even know she was in Manford? We didn't know. These allegations are stalking, are they not? Yes. He says he's not stalking her, right? Yeah. And yet they knew she was in Manford. He lives in Lubbock, Texas. What's he doing up here? What's he care? He shouldn't care. But he's stalking. So she's telling her the truth. He keeps proving her right. When I'd leave, there was that. Laura Collins testified to seeing man, one time somebody pulled through the parking lot and I watched her tensed up like a motherfucker. You made everybody tense. We're all tired of feeling that. You have leaks, we don't. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of feeling tense and threatened and harassed and bothered and threatened. And, is it you? Did you leak? We're going to come around and tell everybody how horrible we're going to be and all the crime we're going to commit against Cynthia and all the bad things we're going to do to her and call her kids up and once a week and go, I think we found a way to false arrest her and you're just going to be okay with it, right? And then you ask me, is it your family leaking? Is it the people around you, where you live? Is it your neighbors leaking? Who's leaking? Fuck you. Maybe it's the guy sitting right next to you. Maybe it's Calvin. Maybe. You don't know. You'll never know. I don't even know that. So, she's tensed up. I want you to shut up. Get out of my computer. This isn't a conversation. Mr. Perry types in my computer. If I say shut up, I'm sorry to interrupt like that. He's disruptive. He interrupts everything. We're all tired of that. We have no problem getting information, and he can't get it. Look at your fucking results, dumbass. So when I say shut up, when I have to interrupt and yell like that, he'll stop a lot of times. Not always, but a lot of times he will. So this is her testimony. Yeah, people are coming up. I've lived here 10 years and never seen that before. I watch a car come in one day. She tenses up and turns around and looks at me like, oh, God. It scared her. Oh, that was scaring us. It was weird. It's weirdo. Charles Perry's a weirdo. So I looked at her and I kind of laughed and I was like, I'll go find out what the fuck they want. So I did. I walked up and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? It turns out it was people that said they were lost. Only one of them spoke English. They were Asian people. So maybe that's legit. Maybe it wasn't. Probably, I would say the chances are high. Everything that happens goes into 4 categories if we don't find out about it beforehand. It's either we know it was Charles and we can prove it, or we know it was Charles and we can't prove it, but we do know, or 50-50 chance it was Charles, or we absolutely can exclude that he had nothing to do with it. Everything that happens to me every single day, if we don't find out beforehand and we don't have a recording of him that will prove Mainz Ray, he sat down, planned a crime, knew it was a crime, knew he was caught half the time, and did it anyway. He's a genius, I'll tell you. So everything goes into one of those 4 categories that happens to me. He did it. We know he did it. We can prove it. Like the false arrest. 2, we know he did it, but we can't prove it. We can't. But we do know he did it. that happens a lot in law enforcement. There'll be something that happens, and you know that guy did. Well, O.J. Simpson. Everybody knew he. Everybody knows he killed his wife. Everybody knows that. They weren't able to prove it in a court of law. He wrote a book that said, if I did it, here's what I did. And he went through and described every fucking thing he did. Everybody knows O.J. Simpson killed Nicole. He got his end, guess where? Las Vegas, Nevada. Different crime, but he still got his. So, yeah, Charles, call Las Vegas and see if they're helping me, and then tell them to stop stopping your crime, and then hold your breath. Why don't you go out to the desert and hold your breath? We'll come out. I'll be out there and tell you who it is, okay? So, this is Laura's statement. Yeah, these people were coming up taking pictures of her. It's a weirdo. There's one right now, she says, and there was. This is black SUV. Well, the reason I like Jerry Ridley, I respect Chief Ridley, is because one night I come home from work and there's a black SUV sitting there, and I'm like, dadgummit, I'm sick of this. We all kind of avoided the guy. He had Texas plates. Well, Ridley was sitting with his, I couldn't see the plates. He was sitting facing me. So I park my car and walk over, and I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing here? And what do you want? And who are you? What's your name? I mean, I gave him the third degree. And he started laughing at me, and I'm looking inside the car, and I'm like, there's police equipment. This is a cop. So I asked him, are you a cop? And he goes, yes. And I said, from where? From Manford. Well, Manford has white cars. This is black. Lucky got this at a drug bust. I said, okay. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, like, grill you like that, but we've had, the weird traffic and shit. And he's just laughing at me. He could have just ripped my ass. He could have said, I'm a police officer and you don't question me. I mean, he could have really just laid into me, and he didn't. And I will forever be thankful and respectful of him for, keeping in mind what we were all going through over there. Me and Laura. I mean, Laura had called Chief Miller. She said 3 times. I've called Lucky 3 times and said, you need a patrol over here. We got some weird crap going. These guys are coming up here taking pictures of her. It's weird. It's creepy. So I tell Chief Ridley, I'm like, what's your name? And I'm Chief Ridley. Oh my gosh. And I said, how are you doing? Anyways, we talked for a minute. And then I said, I've got some paperwork in follow-up to the report that I filed. Let me go get it for you. And it was the pictures of inside the hotel room. I showed Officer Neely that day that he came and took my report, but I didn't actually have a hard copy to give him. So I went and got those printed up and gave them to Chief Ridley that night. But this was something everybody saw. Everybody was unnerved by it. It's menacing. You're menacing. You're a menace. Nobody's wanting to get a date with you. 13 years, you can't get one date. Not even one. You don't have a real love life. You're watching TV show pretending. And that's the best you'll ever be. You'll never be any better than that. Everybody just wants you gone. These are the harassment emails. They go back to 2017. We're going to send her home, harass the fuck out of her, get her kicked out of her house, wreck her car, shit like that, peep on her, have people around her taking pictures of her, harassing and threatening and threatening. And then when she talks about it, we'll say she's harassing us. We'll play like we're the victims. You know how many times a day Mr. Perry tells me, stop. Here's the thing. You broke into my home. You're in my house. I moved twice to get away from you. You need to fuck off. You're Neil, except you're worse. You broke into my home. You're raping me. You're tearing up my shit, and I'm beating the fuck out of you. I want you out of my home. And you're telling me to stop? You're shitting us with that, right? We laugh at you. The stuff you say doesn't even make sense. You're the criminal. You're getting told on. You can't find the recordings. Nobody will help you. You are a hated man right now. You stop. You're the criminal. You're getting told on. You have leaks. You're pissing everybody off. You stop. You're in my home against my will, raping me, tearing up my shit. You get out. Because if you're in my home, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. Every day, all day long. And I have, and I do, and I will. You fuck off. You're the criminal. You're not wanted. You broke in. You're illegal. What you're doing is illegal. You're offending people. You're getting told on. You stop, bitch. Because what's happening is when we get stuff like the McNamara email and the Yellow Brick Road email and the Bus Pass email and the ringtone email and the shoe print email and all that shit, you want to know how we got? You're being stopped. They're doing it for you. The guys that got me the Fabian puzzle and all this stuff you say, and Calvin's name and Muffin Man, your little code words, they're doing it for you, dumb fuck. You're being stopped by them. You're offending us. The normal folk, we don't like the weird ones like you. 13 years, you can't get even one date. You can't figure out how to get women to like you. It's not peeping. It's not ruining lives. You don't crap up with people's lives and then think they're going to help you. You know who they're going to help? Whoever will put a stop to it. You're dumb. You act like you have no idea what I'm saying. It's embarrassing. They're going to perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land. And while you're planning that, Justice Scalia died. Guess where? Not D.C., West Texas. And Al Ritchie, commander of D.C. homicide, murder cop. Why didn't they follow protocol when he died like they did, like we would have had he died in D.C.? What fishy things going on over there in West Texas? Did you kill him too? Switch out his pills or something? Yep. Here's the thing. We can't really come down on that as much as we can with Chief Miller because there was no autopsy done. See, it's easier with Chief Miller. I mean, we can say that's suspicious, that's fishy. And this gives support to what Ritchie said. William O. Ritchie, Commander Ritchie. From D.C. homicide. He's retired cop, murder cop. You think he's stupid? You think he doesn't talk to other cops? You think cops are all stupid? You think they want to be the bitch of a sex weirdo like Sheriff Rowan? I don't think most of them don't, actually, sir. They don't. They'd like to kick your butt, is what they'd like to do. They'd like to kick your ass all the way to China. See, there's a thing that people who are cops, real cops, true blue cops, cops, there's something inside of them that they want to catch a bad guy. They want to relieve the suffering caused by crime. It's what you eat, drink, and sleep every day, all day long. You don't know anything else. That's all you think about. That's all you think about all the time. So do you really think there's cops out there that want to help you be a rapist and a killer and a cop killer? If you think that, you really are delusional and you really are mentally retarded, because I promise you, I grew up in it. They don't think that. They don't think that at all. And sometimes they might, one thing about police, and something I was very good at, ask Terry Wagner. I knew the first day Terry Wagner came in, you sent him. But that man thought for sure I liked him, didn't he? He thought I liked him, didn't he? So did Mickey James. Those two people, they thought we were friends, didn't they? Nope. I was sting-umping the fuck out of them. I was going to get as much out of them as I could. That's what I do. I'm very good at it. I've done more than anybody you know. I'll act like I'm your best buddy. I like you. Oh, we're BFFs. And all I'm doing is getting trust. I'm gaining trust. 6 years you had. 6 years you had to get me to make a mistake. And you didn't get one, did you? For 6 years, you had direct access to me in a strip club. And not one of your guys got me to slip up on a fucking thing, did they? You don't know who's helping me to this day. But I got all kinds of shit out of your people. Because I'm very good at what I do, aren't I? You're in a bind because I'm very good at what I do, aren't I? And that's just my part. That's not guys getting what you just said before you do it. That's me. I'm in the strip club. I'm by myself in there. I got to think on my feet. I got to respond to your fucked up questions and your fucked up comments intelligently and not slip up. And I didn't. If I gave you information, it's because I wanted you to have that information. Because we knew you would do what you did. We got a shrink that tells us if she says this or that or this or that, they're going to do this and this and this and this. And we got them. Yep, it worked every fucking time. You have no idea. You don't even know yet. But I'll tell you what. Terry Wagner thought I liked him, didn't he? Yep, it's called getting trust and rapport. I'm good at what I do. We even told you guys. Here's the thing about Terry. We know he works for you. We know it. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch everything he does. If his money is consistent, he comes in and buys VIPs or dances or whatever consistently, there's not a crime there. But if it changes, fluctuates based on whether or not I'm doing what you think, whether or not I'm doing, I'm sorry, let me back up. I'm so tired, and I'm repeating myself. I mean, this is not the first time I've said all this. This is like the 800th time I'm saying the same fucking thing. Alzheimer's. So, we were watching Terry to see if the money fluctuated based on whether or not you thought I was doing what you wanted. If you thought I was doing what you wanted, the money went up. I got a lot of money from Terry, or more than usual. And if you thought I wasn't, then all of a sudden he couldn't come in. Oddly, one night when I needed money, but you didn't want me to have it, he tells me in a text, I can't come in. I'm upset about my wife is about to die. But then on the night of her death, he came in. Text me, so you wanted something? Yep. I don't even know what to say. It's so easy, it's not fair. Because without that, we had no case of coercion. But if it's consistent, where's the coercion? But if it's inconsistent and it contingent upon whether or not you think I'm doing what you want, then we got a case, don't we? Yep. Now, before the landlord tried to kick me out the first time, and you guys were recorded, we can't take her money and get her kicked out for non-payment. Let's try on smoking. We're recorded. And then you did do it once the COVID moratorium lifted. But this is what the judge said. Judge Kirkendall, right? I need you to leave her alone so I can rule out entrapment and provocation, because it looks to me like you're provoking and you're trying to entrap. You're pissing her off, and she has every right to be pissed off. You're provoking that. She's just reacting to what you're doing. I moved twice to get away from you, you sick fuck. Completely changed my life. I had a life where I'm meeting with senators, United States senators and congressmen every day, or governors, or judges. And that was my life. I was only a stripper for 6 years. But I'll tell you one thing. I got a lot of shit that will stop your crime. So what I got is here on this blog. Mr. Perry, shut up. Were you asked what you think? I don't think you were. I think you were asked to shut up and get away from me. You've broken into my home. You've crapped up my shit. You're getting kicked off me because you're raping me. And if you won't stop when you're told on beforehand, like we got what a judge said, sir, that's a pretty fucking big deal, don't you think? I don't think you even know what the hell I'm saying. I think you don't know. You act like you have no fucking idea what's happening or what people say to you. You're truly mentally ill and mentally retarded. And that's from our shrink, and you can take it up with her in your trial. You have every opportunity to prove that wrong by shutting up and getting away from me and get out of my house. You were never invited in it. You're not wanted in my life. Fuck off, stalker. Stalking is a felony. This goes over most of it. Has all the text. You can hit the links. I'm not going to pull it all up. You can pull up Terry Wagner's. You can pull up Mickey James, who says, in a text, no less, it might be worth the risk of Mr. Perry having the suspicion of murder, like we saw with Gary Condit and Chandra Levy, if he kills you. I signed an NDA, and I've been watching behind the scenes. I know you, and you don't know me, and that must be creepy for you. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But you can pull up all that stuff here. Those are all contacts within the forum state of Oklahoma, right? On purpose. You did it on purpose. You paid these men. They didn't go in there for free, right? Terry Wagner, Joel, David Robertson, Mickey James, and Pinto, right? Pinto solicits prostitution and asked me 3 times if I was wearing a wire. This Pinto, here's the menu. My deposition from Mike Neely is right here. Anybody can listen to it. That was a sting-op more than it was a depo, because those two didn't ask me a fucking thing that really had anything at all to do with Mike's case. They did about the harassment email. This whole deposition is about your harassment accusations. Gene Mitchell says to me, I got a bunch of emails from you, 20 of them or so. I didn't have time to read them all. And I'm like, no, sir, you did not. You got 5. At the 5th one, I said, I have a whole lot more evidence to send you, and I don't want to bog you down with a bunch of emails, so I'm going to set up a Dropbox for you. And I did. You're full of shit. At the very end, the Florida State's attorney asked me if I'm a cop. Why is he asking me that, Mr. Perry? Did you think I was a cop? Why am I being asked that question? Yep. I thought it was a stupid stripper, not a cop. I'm not a cop, but I'm something. And I am working with law enforcement, and that's none of your business. But your conduct is very inappropriate, because the only time and place that I will speak to you is after your arrest, at the police station, when you've been Mirandized, and you waive your right to counsel. And any other communication outside of that is extremely inappropriate and illegal. And I don't know why the hell you keep doing it. When you do, you get told on. You get caught. We get more. Yep. This is Dr. Russell. There's the recording, and here's what the recording says. Transcripts. This was a stalking escalation. There was no crime. You didn't commit a crime. Mr. Perry needed some attention. He's a bully. Oops, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is a contact in the forum state of Oklahoma. He solicited prostitution. Right? So when this starts piling up, how are you going to explain all that in your trial? Mr. Perry, in your criminal trial, when my guys arrest you, because they will, they're the ones working hard to get all the information, like the McNamara email, Calvin, Muffin Man, Bus Pass, Ringtone, all these emails. Those are the titles of emails that go with a recording that you're looking to buy so you can destroy. They're working very hard to get that stuff to me. Those guys are going to arrest you. Doesn't matter what TPD does. They will arrest you. We all want you gone. We don't have any problem at all getting information. And you can't get it. No one will tell you who has the actual recordings. No one. You've been offering money for weeks. No one's helping you. They're helping us. People don't like problems. They don't like sadness. They don't like loss. They don't like fear. They don't like stress. They don't like drama. We're busy. You need to get a life. So, they don't like that, and they don't like the people that cause it. And once you're gone, all that's gone with you. And we don't have to deal with that ever again. And I will not be broke ever again. And you won't be able to creep me out ever again. And I'm not attracted to you. You creep me out. David, when you went into Godiva's, you creeped those girls out. They complained about you in the back. You know what? There was a lot of guys that came in that we were all talked about in the back. Girls talk. It's the funniest thing. It's like the locker room back in the dressing room in a strip club. Every girl back there talks about the guys that come in. Good or bad. This guy's fun. We have a blast when he comes in. He's a good tipper too. He takes good care of us. We really like coming when he comes in. And that was never you, David. Those chicks would hide. He's not worth the $60 for the VIP. He's creepy. He's fucking creepy. And by the way, he's a fucking doesn't tip either. Gives you canned food. The guys that came in and took care of the girls there in those strip clubs, treated us right, were fun to hang out with, and paid us. When you go to work, you go to work so you can make money, right? Strippers go to work so they can make money. It's a business. When you walk in the door, you owe. There's no salary. There's no hourly wage. You're on your own. It's commission only. You don't make money. You don't sell a lap dance or a VIP or something. You don't get tipped on stage. You don't make money. And as soon as you walk in the door, you owe a house fee. You owe a tip to the DJ, the waitress, the bouncer, the door guy. Everybody that works there expects your money. So now, if they didn't help us, this didn't happen very often, but once in a while it did. I had one waitress that sucked, and I would not tip her. And she'd get all upset. I said, listen, I work hard for my money, and I'm not going to give it to you for you to sit around and be lazy. You don't help me, I'm not helping you. You take care of me, I'll take care of you. But I've not seen you take care of me yet. I've worked in 4 or 5 different strip clubs. You're the only waitress I have a problem with. Everybody else takes good care of me, and I take good care of them. But you fuck with me, I'm not gonna. I don't owe you a tip. We come here, we work, we get paid. You don't work, you don't get paid. So everybody does that. Everybody knows how that works. You guys walk in there and you don't tip those girls, you're a fucking freeloader. You go in the shoplifter's book of stripper. You know, we have a stripper shoplifting book. You're shoplifting from us. You don't get to do that. We go to work to get paid. The entertainment isn't free. And Perry's guys, you could always tell Perry's guys they don't tip and they're creepy. David, you're one of those. So you go back into a strip club, I'm going to tell you right now, that's how you're talked about in the back. You're not the guy everybody's glad to see come in. Or you weren't then. He's the creepy guy that won't tip. It's bad enough that he's creepy, but on top of that, he won't tip either. So, this guy, Pinto, he's soliciting prostitution. That's just a side tip for people that go in strip clubs, just so you know. Be fun and tip, or don't go. Watch porn on, at home, or whatever it is you weirdos do. Don't go in a strip club. This guy, the guys that go in and have fun usually don't do porn at home. But either way, don't bother the girls in a strip club if you're not going to be fun and you're not going to tip. Don't do it. Stay away from them. Stay out of there. What's he say? Look, he's asking, I can't get into that because you might have a wire on. What you need to do is put him in his place, right? Have somebody back you. How do I put him in his place? I can't get into that because you might have on a wire. And I'm like, where? Where would I have a wire? I did have my recorder on. It was in my purse. And then he didn't like what I was saying, so he'd go, stop. That's a David Robertson telltale right there. Interrupt. Rude. Rudely interrupts. Stop. And oh my God, wow. The weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life, right here. I'm your caretaker. Just sleep with him, and he'll pay you $5,000. This is a contact in the forum state of Oklahoma, which Mr. Perry went into court under oath, making sure I wasn't there to show this, and said he wasn't making any contacts in the forum state of Oklahoma. Got my claims dismissed on there's no jurisdiction. Really, Judge Morrissey? Wow. On what planet is that, and how much did he pay you? Because this looks to me like a contact within the forum state of Oklahoma. And if only I had been in that courtroom to show her this, sir. And I thought for sure your attorney would argue it's inflammatory, so it should be excluded, but he didn't, to my amazement. He's the one that put it on the docket in the first one, which then should have led to an immediate injunction. I'd already requested an injunction. It has to be likely to occur again. And it was, and it did. Well, not just likely, it did. So that judge was Judge Payne was from Lubbock. How did we manage to get the one judge on that court, the federal court, that's from Lubbock, Texas, where you're from? So one of the reporter-type legal analysts said when he heard that, it's important that Judge Payne be very, very fair with Ms. Ortiz, so there's no appearance of impropriety. And y'all ignored that. We told you he said that, and you ignored it. And you fucked up anyway, didn't you? You fucked it up anyway. So, let me tell you, the 12 reporters that help us, a lot of have law degrees, and some of them are not in the United States. How are you going to explain what you just did? You don't get a lie this time. Everything's different when you do it to me. And yet you never stop. It's like you like getting told on. You like digging your hole deeper. No one's helping you, and you're not getting it, are you? You don't get it. And when our shrink says he's mentally retarded, I truly believe that. He never responds right to what you just said. Never. It's like he has no fucking idea what's happening or what you just said. He doesn't understand you. It's like you're speaking another language. He doesn't know what you said. You walk into, at our club, A lot of times we had migrant workers. Some of them were Daves. They worked for David Robertson. Didn't speak a lick of English. So I speak Spanish, but barely. And I could kind of understand some of what they said. And sometimes I couldn't. Sometimes we had to pull out the Google Translator. But she's like, it's like that. It's like you went to a foreign country and you don't understand a fucking thing they say. They'll talk to you and talk to you and talk to you and talk to you and repeat themselves and repeat themselves and repeat themselves. You still don't know what they said. You don't know. And some people, it's funny, like they're speaking, some other language. You go to China and they're trying to tell you something and you yell. Well, it's not that they can't hear you. It's that they don't understand the language you're speaking. But they yell. I was in this doctor's office one time. Here's what's funny. Doctor's Korean. His nurse is Spanish. And a guy comes in from like Bulgaria or Slovenia or some foreign Slavic type country. And he's trying to communicate with this Korean doctor who spoke Korean in English. And the doctor walks out and he was like, tells his nurse, go in there and talk to that guy. I can't understand a word he's saying. He speaks like Slavic or something. She looks at him and she goes like, and I don't speak Slavic either, so I can't help you. I speak Spanish. Spanish and English. But it was funny that he thought she was going to somehow magically understand this Slavic-speaking patient because she could speak Spanish. Once she went in and tried and, of course, got nowhere either because she doesn't speak Bulgarian or whatever it was. She speaks Spanish. Our shrink says Mr. Perry's the same. He has no fucking idea what you just said. Doesn't know. There's something wrong with his mind. Things don't click for him like they do everybody else. He doesn't know what you said. So he never responds properly to what you just said. He has spent 13 years being rejected and told on more than ever in his life. His crime is out all over the place, more than it's ever been in his life. The more he causes a problem, the more he invades privacy, the more drama he makes, the more threat he becomes, the more angry everybody gets, and the easier of a time we have getting information. And you've said it over and over and over and over, and it's like it goes right over his head. We're talking over his head. Didn't click. Those are his results. 13 years, not one date, no chance of a date. He's just a peep and Tom reject. He's just delusional. He's just a delusional stalker. And nothing more. It's the best he can do. 13 years of that. Meantime, we get more evidence on his crime to convict and indict and convict than has ever been gotten in his life. And he acts like he has no fucking idea what that means. Not a clue. We're talking over his head. It's like we're speaking Slavic to a Spanish, Spanish or Korean. I mean, he doesn't understand a word you say. But are all of them like that? I mean, we have Calvin's name. What about Calvin? Calvin, do you understand a word I'm saying? Because you're caught too more than ever in your life. I know your name. I know who you are. That ought to make you shit yourself. And it doesn't. It's like you don't know what that means. It's like you just have no idea what that means. Are we talking over your head? I said, leave me the fuck alone or we'll get more. Because the more you fuck with me, that's what's happened all this time, every fucking day. And you act like you don't know that. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't know you, Calvin. Never met you in my life. Never met you in my life. So why are you picking a fight with a woman? Are you too weak to pick on dudes? What kind of weak pathetics pick on women to feel tough guy? Nobody understands why the hell y'all do that. How many men have a little meeting and sit and try to figure out how to make me fail? One woman. You're that pathetic? If we add all your IQs up, is it going to equal what mine is? When you fucked with me, everything changed. You have a new normal. And you act like you don't know that. We know that. Why don't you? Charles Perry's never going to get a date with me. He's pathetic. He's creepy. He's cruel. And that's not what I'm into. You know what I'm into? Men who are all working. Have something interesting to talk about. Not a little bizarre bore who's a peep and Tom and can't control himself. I like men who are intelligent and get what I say the first time I say it, and I don't have to repeat myself. I like men who sometimes even finish my sentences for me. They're that smart. I like men who can Sherlock a case like I can and keep up with me, and I don't have to get my puppets and crayons and finger paints out and explain it. I like smart cops separately from a romance. I just like smart cops. That impresses. I like cops that impress me. I don't like Barney Fives. That's just it kind of. There's certain things that just like fingernails on a chalkboard for me. That gets on my nerves. Maybe because I was raised, and I was raised that you do the job and you do it right, and you do it right the first time, and then you don't have to explain anything later down the road when the reoffender offends and offends and offends, and finally somebody cleans his clock. Somebody gets it. So I like guys that are smart. That's just that's something I find attractive. Smart people. I worked with surgeons all my life. I worked with federally elected officials all my life. I grew up in the home of a police officer. He was the chief. I grew up in the home of an elected official who was smart enough to go, this whole alien thing, guess what? You know, that's all classified, isn't it? Still. It's all classified. So, what did my granddad do, though? Whether, let's say, he didn't believe he let me just back up. I'm not going to say that. He got the UFO museums in Roswell because it's bringing a shit ton of money into that town. No other reason. He's a city councilman. He's going, gosh, we're going broke here. But guess what we could do to bring money into Roswell? Erect a museum about this UFO thing. A lot of fascination with that. A lot of mystery in it. People come from all over the world to this day to look at those damn museums. So, was that not a brilliant idea? I think it was. That's what impresses me. That is my granddad, Chief Hall. Mr. Perry, to this day, every day, is it this person helping you? Is it that person helping you? Is it that? And I'm like, oh my gosh. When you're gone, I don't have to deal with you and your problems and your drama and your rape anymore. Why would I tell you anything? Why would I do that? It's like you fucking don't even... I've repeated myself again and again and again. No one's going to help you. We want you gone. Everybody's sick of this. Everybody's sick of you. And is it your mommy? Is it your dad? Is it... What did I just say? I said, we all want you gone. We're sick of you. Everybody's sick of hearing you talk. Everybody's sick of hearing what you want, what you need. Everybody's sick of your rape. Everybody's sick of you need a lie. Everybody's sick of you. The problems, the drama, the loss. We're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. No one's going to help you. Shut up and get away from me. Is it this person? Is it that person? Oh my God. What did I just say? What did I just say? This person's not supposed to be communicating with me at all. And that's the thing every day. Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Shut up and get away from me. We all want you gone. No one's going to help you. We want you gone. The more you contact me, the more we get. The more problems you cause, the more we get. Shut up and get away from me, dumbass. Shut up. I don't like you. I'm not going to help you. When you're in jail, I won't be broke ever again. I won't have to stress out anymore about money ever again when you're gone. I won't have you creeping me out every fucking day, all raping me. That's all gone with you. So I'm not going to help you. No one is. We're all sick of you. We want you gone. Is it this guy? Is it that guy? Is it... I'm like, oh my God. Wow. I might as well go tell the tree. Am I talking over your head, fucktard? What did I just say? No one's going to help you. Everyone's sick and tired of you. When you do things to me, you get caught because we're all sick and tired of you. Fuck off. Is it this guy? Is it... It's like that every day, all fucking day long. I don't even have words. Nobody has words for that. Nobody fucking has words for that. So, I'm going to close with this real quick. That is my family. That is my background. And believe me when I say, expectations were higher on my sister and me and my cousin, John Mark, because of who our granddad was, than other kids. We had to behave. We didn't have a choice. We had to behave. You don't know what that's like. You have no fucking idea, do you, Mr. Perry? Because you weren't raised like that. You were raised with the wolves or something. Somebody in Manford said, Charles Perry acts like a spoiled, rotten little bitch who didn't get spanked enough as a kid. Somebody needs to clean his clock now. Beat the hell out of him. Maybe he'll start thinking right and acting like a grown-ass man. Everybody there was sick of you then. You're a burden. You're a cancer. You're an imposition we all want gone. No one's going to help you, sir. We all want for you to be gone. We don't want to deal with this. We don't want to deal with you. We don't want to hear one more minute whining, how you need a lie. I need a lie. I want a lie. Nope, not this time. And I said that 5 years ago, didn't I? 7 years ago. You will not. You've done this shit, creepy, criminal bullshit, deviant shit, sicko stuff all your life. And you got away with it, but not this time. You don't know who I am. You don't know who I know. But I knew what was going on before that. I knew why I was sent to Lubbock. And you didn't know that, did ya? Freaky Jason slasher serial killer, did ya? I want for you to shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Weirdo. Shut up. No one cares what you think. Were you asked? Nope. We're stuck. We're tired of hearing it. I'm repeating myself again. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. This right here is my background. This right here is who you fucking with. Somebody with that kind of background. So how stupid do you have to be to pick on cop people? Mike Neely is a cop. Chief Miller's a cop. I was raised by 4 generations of cops. You're dumb. I've never seen anybody dumber. You're like those guys that go into a bank. There was some dude that went into a bank to rob it, and he writes the demand letter on the back of his deposit slip with his home address on it. Doesn't get any more fucked hard. You're that. You're exactly that. Who the hell goes after cop people? That's why things are different this time. When you did it to me, fucked hard. You don't get a date in 13 years. There's not been a date. There's no chance of that. You're creepy. You're twisted. You're sick. You're cruel. Everybody's sick of you. You're not going to get help, sir. Not this time. Am I talking over your head, fucktard? You need to start acting like you understand what people say to you. Can you? Do you have that ability? I don't know that you do. I think our shriek is dead on the money. I think she is right on. I think she knows exactly what she's talking about. I think she's very, very good at what she does. And you can't seem to, you definitely made her look good. Let me tell you, you made her look great. It's so easy, it's not even fair. You're in my home against my will, raping me and crapping up my life. If you want my guys to stop kicking your ass, then get the fuck out of my house. Do not contact me again. I hate it. I mean, it makes all my skin crawl when you contact me. You're a sick little fuck, and I'm tired of having to deal with you. I'm sick of it. My part was done when I got you elected. Everything else is icing on the cake, dumbass. You guys have a new normal, and you act like you don't understand that. Stop contacting me, Mr. Perry. Stop bothering me. I don't like it. Shut up and go away. Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me. Now, as many times as we've quoted you, the fact that you guys think you have a choice, we don't even know what to say to that. What do we say to that? You tell us. You're quoted and quoted and quoted and quoted. Matt Muffin Man, Calvin's name I got. McNamara email, Mike was drugged email, ringtone email, get her a bus pass email, kick her out of her house, ruin her life, crap up her life, demand a lie. Ben Campbell thought he was going to be able to give her a press release. She's supposed to be arrested. He was going to issue a press release. We need another smear campaign. It's election time again. Let's just make crap up. Right? So as many times as I've quoted you and you're looking for these actual recordings, why in the world do you think you have a choice when I tell you, shut up and get away from me and fuck off and get out of my life? Why do you think that? Or, my guys will do it for you. You choose. Those are your only choices. You do it or they do it. It's up to you. It's up to you. You're going to do it by yourself like a big boy, grow a pair and move on like everybody else. Or my guys will do it for you. They got me the McNamara email. They got me the Fabian puzzle. They got me Calvin's name, Muffin Man. Your daycare coach. You think they can't do that too? You're off your nut. You really are delusional. You really are fucking stupid. That's your choice. You be stupid all you want. There's your shovel, princess, princey pants. Dig away.